Go ahead. Go ahead.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.
What's up, everybody? I'm Fu.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Main One, and we're Unplugged Free Your Mind, a show where we discuss an array of topics, current events, and world news from an unfiltered, unbiased, and unplugged point of view. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time out to check us out this Monday evening. What's going on with my people?
I'll start off. I noticed that Morehouse, Spelman, and Clark Atlanta are saying that the students have to get the experimental drug in order to come campus. And I'm like, number one, that's actually not legal. That's not legal, like seriously. And just the fact they have the gall to do that to me is disrespectful. And if I was those parents / those students, all of them should say no, because that should be one thing where you shouldn't be discriminating against people like that. They all should make a stand, and none of them should enroll. They should they should be like, I want my money back, anything, because once again, that's going against their constitutional rights. Because to be honest with you, you're not supposed to be asking people's medical history like that anyway, not like that. And they putting it on blast like that. That's not right. You're not supposed to do that. You cannot do that. And I say that because this isn't traditional. If it was something that was approved on that level, I would say maybe. But in this instance, you can't force somebody to get an experimental drug. No, don't work like that.
Wow. Yeah, I hadn't read about it. I'm gonna have to read up on that. But sure, I'm not surprised.
I think I mentioned that about this up here in New York, the SUNYs and CUNYs. That's what they're doing as well. They are. Oh, okay. I'm not going to say that they are requiring it, but they are asking them to make sure they're vaccinated, especially the students that are going to be staying on campus.
Yeah. So if I had a kid, then it'll be, hey, you taking all online courses.
Well, I guess for me, the question becomes, are all current, because currently, in order to enroll in any public institution, especially, college and below, you have to have certain V's. So my question is, are all the V's that's required approved?
That's the whole point. You can't. How are you going to force something that's not approved?
Well, it's not that they force. If it's religious purposes or medical purposes, yeah. But most colleges does require stuff like meningitis and tetanus and that sort of thing.
Same thing. What you're saying is fine. Those are approved. You can't.
And that was my question. That was my initial question.
You can't be forcing these kids to do this, considering it's not safe. It's not proven. That is very, very dangerous. And once again, you're putting these people in a bad situation. To me, that to me is very, very dangerous.
But is it required or is it?
I'm trying to remember when I don't ever remember showing anybody medical history when I enrolled in college.
I got doing vaccination when I was a student on campus. Yeah.
I'm about to touch on something for y'all to see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Sure.
When you go get one of these shots, you have to sign a waiver. And if I'm not mistaken, in that waiver, you're saying you are going through a clinical trial. This is a test and everything like that. Whenever you actually got any other shots, you never had to sign a waiver.
Right.
People got to catch on to stuff like this.
Yeah, it's called,
you have to sign something. Your informed sense should be popping off like, wait a minute.
It's called informed consent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a new trend, and best believe it's coming to a college near you. It's their way of, I guess, just assuring that everyone's, protected for the most part, whatever that is.
Yeah. So I guess we had the current event portion. Was that part of your current event, or that was just something that's on your mind that you wanted to touch on real quick? Huh?
That's my current event because I'm not going to talk on the other BS. I'm gonna follow y'all lead with what y'all got to talk about.
Okay. All right. Well, just to lead into, well, not lead into, but just to kind of piggyback off that. So I was looking at this. It was this U.S. code on restrictions on use. It's code. If anybody wants to look it up, it's U.S. code 1520A, and it's restrictions on use of human subjects for testing of chemical and biological agents. And it says prohibited activities. The Secretary of Defense may not conduct directly or by contact. So I was saying this because I heard in that little live thing they did about the roll up the sleeve with the celebrity, they kind of mentioned maybe we should, go to people's houses door to door, knock door to door, and you know, ask them about the vaccine and shit like that. And Jennifer Lopez was like, "Yeah, I think that's a good idea," and bullshit. So it made me go look at some of these codes, and so it says prohibited activities. So what they can do, any test of what they can't do, prohibited. Any test or experiment involving the use of chemical agent or biological agent on civilian population, or any testing of chemical agent or biological agent on human subjects. Exceptions. Subject to subsection C, D, and E. The prohibited subsection does not apply to tests of experiment carried out for any of the following purposes. Any peaceful purpose that is related to medical, therapeutic, pharmaceutical, agricultural, industrial, and research activity. That's very important because that's an exception in the code. So that's already setting the stage for them to even do that. So I think that's why that even came up in that little discussion, because that says that they can come to your house, knock door to door, and say, "Hey, have you been vaccinated? You need to get this vaccination." So that's very dangerous. And see, this is the problem when we as citizens don't read the fucking damn codes and the laws that they damn pass. We just so partisan in our shit that we just say, "Oh well, I'm a Democrat, so I believe what the fuck they doing. I'm a Republican, I believe what the hell they damn doing." So
that's interesting. I never heard that.
Yeah. So it's U.S. Code 1520A.
U.S. Code 1520A.
Yep.
Okay.
Yo, man.
Yo.
Somebody did a wardrobe change.
Oh.
It wasn't me or you.
Which brings me into my current event. See, there's method to my madness. So I'm a day early, but tomorrow is one is a very popular national day. Y'all know what 420 is, right?
Yeah.
National Day of Cannabis or whatever. Right. But it's also National Lookalike Day.
Okay.
And we look alike.
Yeah, we do.
That's it. That's all I had.
That's it.
Well, I got a little bit of entertainment news, and then I got something else. I want to mention, too, rest in peace, Black Rob. He was 51.
Absolutely.
That's something that I did want to bring up just to pay homage to him. What was one of his songs again, Jermaine?
Whoa, his main song. Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. So yeah. And the cool thing about it was, I don't know if y'all seen the video that was circulating on the internet, like Instagram, where he actually paid his homage to DMX.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I saw it.
I thought that was cool. What else I got? Did y'all know that Matthew McConaughey is running for governor in Texas? And he's leading in the polls.
And he was one of the people on the roll up your sleeves last night.
So I'm not surprised. So it's correlation. So I'm not surprised.
Well, then there you go. He's one of my favorite actors, and he was, I think it was 2017 or 18, the world's most sexiest man, or something to that extent. I want to say it was 2018. I normally keep up with that particular thing. So yeah, Matthew McConaughey. So our people in Texas, look out for him, because he may be your next governor. Who knows? in more serious news, y'all know that right now they're deliberating on the George Floyd case, and all across the US.
If he
What you say? What did he say, Jermaine?
I don't know. He kind of went out.
Well, all across.
It's a delay. Keep going. Keep going. I was just going to Matthew McConaughey.
Sure. No, I was mentioning.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can now. So in the Derek show,
I was gonna say
he delayed.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say regarding the case that right now they're deliberating, and all across the country, everyone is bracing for the final verdict. So be careful in your area. You know, once they deliver that verdict, I mean, who knows? It's really up in the air. I do know that one of the last testimonies that they got, they said that he definitely, he died because of lack of oxygen, and it showed it on the video. So who knows what's going to happen? I know up here in New York, they're bracing for what could be, an outcry and people in an uproar over the final verdict. So, I'm just going to say that to our people all over the U.S., just, be real careful, on that particular day. I would say just try to stay home and stay out of the mix of all that, because, it's one of those things where if they go with, exonerating this guy, whatever, it's going to get crazy. I mean, I really feel like people are really, really emotional right now regarding it. Like, why is there even a case on this when we watched it? So I would tell our people to just be careful, when they deliver the verdict. Question is, when are they going to actually give the verdict for it? I don't know, but I would think that I'm thinking, and this is just me, I really don't know when, but I'm thinking by Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to know what's going on, unless it's a hung jury. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I had for my current events.
Okay. Well, man, I got quite a few things, but I'm not going to touch on all of them, obviously. But I had something from last week, and I just wanted to start off with saying a quote from Harry S. Truman. And he says, "You can't get rich in politics unless you're a crook." Now, how important is that? Because last week, without nobody, I don't think too much media spoke about it. Of course, the media not going to speak about it. Well, let me pull up this article real quick because recent financial disclosure, Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her husband Paul purchased up to $10 million in Microsoft stock in early March. These purchases came weeks before the Pentagon announced a $22 billion contract with Microsoft. Isn't that ironic? So when you talk about the corruption that goes on in our government, and my whole thing is transparency, and also talk about it on both sides, because had this been a Republican, then it'd have been all in the news, corruption. But when it's on the Democrat side, and this goes on both, and this goes with both, it's not just banging on the Democrat.
Yeah.
It has to be fair on both sides. I mean, you can't make the laws, no bills coming and all this kind of shit coming, and then you capitalize on it. That's corruption at its finest. But nobody talks about that. Nobody. Yeah. It just goes untalked about, and it's aggravating and it's frustrating at the same time, because we got all these people that are so beholden to these parties, and they really don't. I keep telling people they really don't give a crap about it, but it goes on deaf ears. So
yeah, well, that's what I like about what we do. We bring these things to the forefront. Yeah. And this is something that we're bringing to the forefront. To me, that's why you got to stay on these certain issues, and you'll see how it's, kind of, it's uneven. It's not balanced.
Oh yeah, for sure. And another one, I'll just go glossing across it. I'm always on this news stuff. And so Biden, I'm always gonna bang on him all the time. I'm never gonna stop because he campaigned on so many things that he has not fulfilled thus far. And I look at all the things that he promised, and I think if he was in a marriage or in a relationship, that other person would be like, man, fuck you, I'm done. But not us. We like, hey, give him a chance, give him a chance. But I don't see too many wives giving a husband or a husband giving a wife chance on a lot of broken promises. So one of the promises that he said was he was going to stop the wall, the construction of the wall, the border wall, right?
He didn't.
Despite campaign promise, Biden admin seizes family property in court to continue the building of Trump's border wall. So now we can't just call it Trump's border wall. We have to call it Trump and Biden's border wall because now he's seizing property from people to continue to build the border wall.
And are you sure that this isn't something that was already in the making during Barack's administration?
No,
nope. I do sort of remember. Yeah, Jerome. I'm sorry, y'all. Fool, he'll be back.
Yeah,
cut out for a second. But I mean, are you sure that this wasn't them picking up from where Barack left off? Because there was construction going on during the Obama administration.
Well, no, Obama didn't. He wasn't building the wall. Trump started the wall. Yeah, Trump started the wall, and Biden specifically says we will not build not one more piece, not one more foot be built. And now, and of course, this is not being covered in mainstream media.
Yeah.
They're seizing people's houses. The very people who voted for them, they're seizing their houses to continue this border wall.
And what's their rationale? Like, why are they doing that? Is it a situation where, because with construction, I mean, you can't just stop where you at.
Why not?
You have to come to some type of ending. You know what I mean?
No, you don't.
Who does that? Who build a mall and stop at half part of it because of whatever?
But if it was so,
the house.
But if it was so damning, then that's exactly what you have to do. And that wall was not an infrastructure thing that was going to stop something from happening. It was just a fucking damn wall. Yeah. So you could just say, hey, we're not going to build the rest of that shit, and it's not going to hurt nothing. But again, like I said, he said in the beginning on his campaign trail, nothing will fundamentally change. And he is exactly right. He is just Trump in a different face. He's a Trump that's just not tweeting. That's all it is. He's Trump, but he's not tweeting nothing. And he ain't saying stupid shit.
Gotcha.
You talk about the lizard?
No, he's talking about how Biden is continuing the 45's wall.
Even after he
talked about the lizard.
The lizard? What's that?
Go ahead.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
Okay.
And so my last little bit of current events that's going on that's not being covered is that now they're uncovering that the Russiagate was false. Now they're coming out with all these reports saying that the CIA was wrong. Russia was not involved in any of this stuff that's going on. So like I said, the media is so bought by everybody. I mean, it don't even make sense for you to even watch this shit. It makes no sense for you to even spend brain cells watching CNN, MSNBC. You muted, Jay.
I believe in keeping certain things close in your radar. So I think we should follow stuff like, because I had no clue that they were finishing. I literally was under the impression that they were going to stop. Somebody said, Kid Gravity Beyond said, shout out to Trump. I don't know what that means. I don't know why we shout him out. I don't know why it's necessary to shout him out. Kid Gravity, you can comment on it or come in and let us know why we need to shout out to him. But yeah. I'm just like, I didn't even know what was going on. So these are things that we need to keep in our radar. So we know where our tax dollars are going. We know if he's fulfilling promises that he made in order to get elected. These things to me, they're very important. Yeah.
And I'm going to keep bringing the news that CNN, MSNBC, Fox, they're not telling you. I'm going to keep bringing it every Monday at 7.
We're going to call it Unplugged and Uncovered. How about that?
Yeah, sounds about right. Because,
The news that I'm gonna bring, you probably seen it on Instagram earlier.
yeah. In gravity, you are correct. Trump exposed this damn government.
Yeah.
He did.
Okay, so that's why shout out to him. Yeah, absolutely. He definitely showed us things that we were like, wait a minute, this isn't presidential. Oh wait, is it presidential?
Right.
No, but that was. Can y'all hear me? No delay.
No delay.
You good now?
Yeah, but see, the thing was, now mind you, I'm not afraid to say it. Trump is a piece of shit. He's been a piece of shit since I was a kid, so I'm not going to defend him. But now I'm starting to realize it seemed like once he was getting news, he was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know this shit. They need to know because y'all would have kept this shit away from me too. Let me go ahead and tell them. Fuck it. And he didn't care. He didn't care about the consequences.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And some of the stuff even the stuff that Biden said last week that didn't get a whole lot of coverage when he was asked about the young kid that got killed in Minnesota, that got killed by the cop in Minnesota. Jay, you muted again. He was asked about it. He was like, "No, I hadn't reached out to the family, and he shouldn't have been killed, but." It's still not an excuse for looting and all the stuff and rioting and stuff like that. Now, if Trump would have said that, CNN would have been like, "Oh, did you hear what Trump said? He said, da, da, da." See, and I said, man, see, this is what I'm talking about. You got to call him out on the bullshit too. You got to call him out on everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything he promised, you got to call him out. He promised 2,000 checks, didn't do that. He promised $15 minimum wage, didn't do that. He promised canceling student debt, didn't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, didn't do that, ain't gonna do that.
All those people with student loans, I'm saying, yeah, I'm keeping it alive.
Yeah, y'all keep that hope alive like Barry.
Listen, it would. One thing about that, canceling the student debt, it would definitely stimulate our economy. I am all for it. I think that they should have some type of committee for it, and it should be looked at. So I'm keeping that particular hope alive.
Well, that's just like them looking at and studying reparations for the last 100 years. They've been looking and studying that for the longest. How long you think they're going?
There's a committee now,
and they ain't gonna do shit. Like,
and guess what? Student loan debt ain't but $1.6 trillion. Hell, we just spent $1.8 trillion on the damn rescue plan, the stimulus package. So they could have did that like that.
Well,
I want to mention something real quick before I break a few things down. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Quenisha, who's been commenting or whatever, and she brought up something earlier. I want to bring something to y'all attention. They offering donuts if you show your shot card. They give fish sandwiches away in Louisiana.
Which donuts? Which fish sandwich? No, I'm teasing. It's a joke.
Then you got them incentivizing employees at Publix. You have them offering $400 to people in the military. Here's my thing. How you offering food incentives and there's people who are homeless and hungry and y'all not even feeding them? That's some bullshit. That right there is some utter bullshit, hands down. Now I wanted to get that out of the way before I said, for anybody that's watching right now, if you are not watching on YouTube, please go to Unplugged Free Your Mind on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe to all your peoples. And you definitely want to make sure that you get your people on, because the guest that we have tonight that's on the show, we got to get his kid his flowers, hands down. Like that's without question. So make sure that you spread the word, because tonight is going to be important. I already struck a nerve with somebody earlier who a little swole and I don't even say that term, in their feelings, but I say it because to me, only women say that shit. I think it's a woman term, so I'm gonna say that because
that's gotta be a woman's term.
Because it's feminine, in my personal opinion. And the dude that's what I hear women say it. I don't hear dudes say that too tough. So for me, I think that Roland Martin in his feelings like a girl. Ooh. Anybody wants to tag Roly Poly, feel free. I want all the smoke, and I don't.
So say what happened. What happened?
I made a post and he blocked me from Twitter that said the clown, Roland Martin, didn't treat this king like he should have been treated, and we're going to do right by him on our show. So he says I was clout chasing and looking for clicks. Well, guess what, Roly Poly? You can take these right here, and you can use these 2 fingers to slick those 3 hairs you got on the top of your head back.
And we cut it off.
And yeah, and if you got anything else to say about me, feel free. I'll give you my phone number. We can go live or whatever. And I would say I would come to Texas, but I'm not getting on the plane. So with all of that being said, and mind you, major shout out to Knowledge Reigns Supreme.
Yes,
on Clubhouse. They show massive love. We're a family. They've adopted Unplugged Free Your Mind as family. So I cannot by any means not I don't know what Chris said, who are you a Canadian? Laughing my ass off, roly poly, ha ha ha. That shit. Hey, somebody told me about roly poly. I think it was actually Jermaine that said that shit to me.
Well, so I've heard somebody call him that, so I just adopted it. So it seems fitting.
But without further ado, we're going to bring on the young man who is the special guest, and we are honored to have him on. And mind you, he has the floor to speak freely and say whatever he wants. And this is going to be an enjoyable night. And we are going to make sure that we give this young man his flowers. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce King Randall to the platform. Hands down. What's up, young man?
What's going on? How are you?
Young King, what's happening?
What's going on, brother?
Not much, man.
Yes, sir.
You muted, Jay.
Yeah, I see it. I'm struggling. I was saying welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Yo, King, I want to let you in on a little something.
Mm-hmm.
The main one is in South Carolina. Jay is in New York, and I'm in the Atlanta area, and I saw all your posts. And if you would have hit me up, we could have linked up face to face, bro. I don't know if you're still here. If you left already.
No, sir. I'm home now. I'm in Albany, Georgia.
Yeah, okay. we missed each other. I saw you was here. You was here doing your thing, making the rounds, yo.
Yes, sir. I got requested a few places and a few surprise events. So yeah, I was moving around in the Atlanta area. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. So, King Randall's. Tell our audience who King Randall is.
Absolutely. Well, my name is King Randall. I'm the founder of the X for Boys program in Albany, Georgia. I'm 21 years old. I began this program when I was 19 years old. I started teaching boys ages 11 to 17 different skill trades. I started teaching them how to do work on cars, such as changing oil and changing brakes, alternators, radiators, you name it. We also started teaching basic home repair, teaching them how to change ceiling fans, toilets, sheet rocking, flooring. All of these things I learned how to do growing up from my former stepdad. So I started teaching the young men in my city how to do this. At one point, Albany, Georgia was the 4th poorest city in the entire United States. At one point, we were the murder capital of the United States, even though our population is extremely low. But we were the murder capital, and we're also high in poverty. Our household income was about $20,000. And that significantly inflated because we do still have wealthy people that live in the city limits of Albany, Georgia. If they were to leave, our household income would plummet, which is why business won't come here. But for the most part, I started this program just simply because we have no rehabilitation programs for young men in the city of Albany. Well, not even just in the city of Albany, in Southwest Georgia in general. I've taken children from the Moultrie, Georgia area, Sylvester, Georgia area, from the juvenile court system. And then I started taking custody of those children to live with me here in my home and started teaching them and molding them and training them to be young men. So right now, our program has an 86% reading comprehension rate. We have a 0% recidivism rate, meaning every child that's come to me from jail has never been back. And we have many little other accolades to tout, but I kind of just want to give people an idea of what we're doing. And of course, right now, we've gotten to a point from working out of my home to having bunk beds in my living room, all the way to having our own school that we're about to open this fall. We plan to open a boarding school. We'll open at 50% capacity this fall. But the boarding portion will open next year because we have to get the necessary licensing. We have to make sure we get the building zone for us to be able to actually house the children there. So we'll be teaching all the skill trades as well as wilderness training, manhood training, teaching them how to protect their women and children, self-defense, aviation, et cetera, et cetera. We'll be teaching many different things at this school. It'll be called the Life Preparatory School for Boys. But that's kind of an idea of who I am and what the X for Boys is all about.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I was on. When I saw your interview on Roland Martin, you know, of course, you know that interview went viral. You know, some of the clips went viral, and you know, so I started looking you up, and you know, one of the things that I was really first I was impressed with, you know, your age. You know, someone as young as you are to be, you know, astute as into what's going on, you know, in your community and you know in the world, you know, all together. And what I love about the fact about your organization is that it's teaching tangible skills that can be monetized right now. You know,
Right.
these are things that used to be taught in school when I was going to school, like automotive and, you know, carpentry and stuff like that, and stuff that kind of got pushed to the wayside because they didn't, from my point of view, they didn't want people to be entrepreneurs. They wanted you to be workers. You know,
Right.
and a lot of kids, you know, they don't know that, you know, you don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a lawyer, you know, because I know electricians, I know plumbers, I know roofers that make more than damn doctors, you know. So, you know, but that's been pushed to our kids, you know, for far too long. So I applaud you for, you know, like I said, these tangible skills that are definitely needed.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I definitely appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I wanna let you know, King. First and foremost, I'm gonna do my damnedest, the connections that I have with people to kind of link them up with you to offer you whatever they can to help you as far as with the school and the kids, because you know how it is, everybody knows somebody. I'm actually working so some of them can possibly come on the show and they can go ahead and talk to you personally, because to me, you're an inspiration. Now, I've heard you say how you've done what you've done with these kids at such a young age. My question to you is, you decided to start doing this at 19. At what stage did you decide to actually make that decision to do it, and what drove you to do it being so young? Because to me, even though I know you were in the military, you could probably touch on that also, but how could you get to that point to say, you know what, I'm just going to drop everything and do what I got to do to help these kids?
Well, considering where we were at the time in the city of Albany, we had a string of different murders of teenagers where I live, and I've been going to these different stop the violence events, etc. And, you know, I'd been offering like different things that we could try and do for young men, you know, because people had so much to say about them, but it's like nobody wanted to get out and, you know, actually get out there with them. And it's everybody want to pray, you know, for our boys and things like that. I'm just like, well, God ain't the reason they out here killing themselves. I said, I believe we are the reason they out killing themselves. You know, I feel like, you know, us, the lack of, you know, work and the lack of, you know, getting out there with them and the lack of just showing them love and hearing them scream for help every day, you know, and us not doing anything is the reason that they're killing themselves. God ain't the reason. So why are we asking him to stop it when we can go and stop it ourselves? And I believe God only helps those who help themselves. So the first thing I did was I started doing field trips. I decided I wanted to take some young men to some different Black history museums and things like that. We went to the African American History Museum in Atlanta, and then we went to the Center for Civil and Human Rights. And I just made these little flyers on my phone. I went to different football practices. I went to basketball practices. I went to different schools and passed out flyers for the field trips. And I made it happen. And that's how I started. You know, I started from there, and then I decided I wanted to teach some kids how to change some oil. So I went to my uncle's house and I was like, hey, can we use your house to host the oil change workshop? And he was like, yeah. So we got out there. I made a flyer on my phone. I passed it out at football practices, emailed it to churches and everything. And we had 21 boys show up for the oil change workshop. And when we taught the boys how to change oil, they all get certificates after every workshop because a lot of young men don't get a chance to get awards or anything. So it builds their confidence, too, because sometimes children think they're worthless because they don't get, you know, good grades and things like that. And I always try to tell them that just because a kid makes straight A's doesn't mean that they're smart. They just mean they're good at school. There's a difference. So I just try to make sure that the boys, you know, gain a lot of confidence, too. But just kind of just watching even my classmates going to jail or my classmates getting killed, etc., I knew that it was time for me to do something for our community. So just looking at the need that I saw in the community is kind of why I started doing what I'm doing now.
Okay. Nice. Someone in the chat said, are you teaching them to grow their own food?
Yes, the first year of the camp, I have about 4 acres of land, and the boys actually grew their own food while we were here. We grew cucumbers, watermelons, bell peppers, tomatoes, etc. That's a big portion of our programming. Actually, I just purchased some more land for the boys. I hadn't made the announcement yet. It's supposed to be making an announcement maybe next week or so. But I just bought 40 acres of land for the boys here in Albany. To teach them wilderness training, also teaching them how to grow their own food. We want our own fresh food market there as well. We want to have our own cattle, etc. These are things that we want to do. Plus, this summer, they'll be learning how to build 2 houses for the summer. They'll be building those 2 houses on this land. They'll be just small 500 square foot houses that they can build in 6 weeks. And that we'll be giving them to homeless veterans for them to be able to have a place to sleep. Just want to teach the boys to be able to give back. But yes, they do learn to grow their own food. That is a huge portion of the program, their diet and being healthy.
Awesome. It's really impressive. I wanted to ask you, what kind of pushback do you get as far as like going to body? Because we get so many excuses in our communities, but well, we can't do this because of this, we can't do this because of that. All these limiting things that we put in our mind. What kind of if any, are you getting with purchasing this land, getting the things that you need, especially for this boarding home that you're going to have? I'm pretty sure it's going to, licensing and all kind of inspections and stuff. So any pushback that you're feeling from the government, your community government, stuff like that?
Was mostly from our community in general, the pushback that I am getting. I don't get like a ton of pushback, but of course I get pushback. You ain't doing nothing right if you don't get nobody talking about you. But right. Yeah, I get a little pushback for one because of my age, and they're just like, oh, what can you teach at 21 years old? I'm like, well, what can you teach at 47? Because obviously you ain't got no school, but obviously, the program's working. I'm like, well, the formula that I have is working. You can go ask the parents, you can go ask the teachers, you can go ask the children, how their lives are changing, so obviously the formula is working. Plus people also have the impression that I'm just doing this all by myself. I'm going to be the only person at the school and all that. I'm just like, no, I have an entire team. I have people that have reached out, from Ivy League schools, et cetera, to be able to help me develop a curriculum, et cetera. I'm not doing this all on my own. Of course, I don't know just everything about a school, et cetera. I have former principals, superintendents. Our local school board is actually working with us as well. So it's not just me alone. Also, what other pushback I usually get? It's this idea that we have in our community that anytime somebody Black is doing something, especially that we think seems to be impossible, it's always they have to be working with the government or they got to be in bed with a white man or something. Like even Jay-Z said, he was like, a nigga got to be Illuminati if he shine. He was just like, every time somebody Black making some money or something or doing something good, they have to be an Illuminati or they got to be working with the white man or something like that. So people, Tariq Nasheed started saying I was an FBI agent and all of that and talking about I was an immigrant and stuff. And I was just like, even if I was an immigrant, what would that matter? Number two, I'm like, I'm not an immigrant. I was born here in Albany, Georgia. I'm like, what are you talking about? But then he was saying, because my dad, not my dad, my stepdad, who's been my stepdad for about 6 years now, he's a police officer in the Atlanta area. And so he was like, oh yeah, he working with the feds and he an FBI informant. I'm just like, what exactly am I informing the FBI about? Let's start there. I'm like, because at this point, the FBI don't need no informants no more. This is the only informant that they need right here. Right. So I'm just like, they don't need me. I'm like, what am I supposed to be telling the FBI? Please enlighten me, but people always think, I honestly believe that some of us do really believe that the white man is our God. I'm like, because if you think that you can't do anything, I've had people say, well, they don't need to open no school because all the white people are going to do is come burn it down or tear it up like Black Wall Street. I'm like, look, Black Wall Street was 100 years ago. Like it's 2021. Like, no, I'm not going to stand here and just, I can't do nothing because white people going to do this and white people going to do that. I'm like, so we ever supposed to do anything? Is that why our conditions of our community is still trash? Because we just never going to do nothing because all the white man's going to do is destroy it. I don't got time for that, so I just come to move this mountain and to show other people that it can be moved, and that's kind of, where I stand with that. That's kind of the only pushback I get, from our community. It's just, we just can't believe that it's possible. And like, I was even skeptical to, announce about the land because I'm just like, people are just going to say all this kind of crazy stuff. Like I'm not able to learn how to save money and learn how to manage my money enough to be able to go buy 40 acres of land at a decent price. I'm just like, we can do it. And my boys have watched me build this program, you know, from the ground up. They've watched me have to go cut people's hair. I learned how to fix cars and paint houses and all that stuff just to be able to afford to feed them and afford to be able to take them on field trips and stuff. They've watched me grow this program from the ground up, you know. And so for them, they feel like they could do anything. You know, they don't, you can't tell none of my kids in my program that have watched me for the past 2 years that they can't do nothing, because they're going to tell you real quick, well, my teacher can do anything he want to do, so I'm going to be able to do the same thing. Right. And that's kind of what I want to show them. Like, they have to see possible with their own eyes, not on TV, which is why they want to be like the rappers or the football players, etc., because that's the only possible that they see. But once they see possible in their communities, we can show them this possible all the time. But it's like when we get some money or something, we want to go move out there and go get away from here. I'm like, why don't you stay where you at and build up your neighborhood where you are, you know? Right. But you know, that's just, you know, where I am. But that's kind of like the pushback I get. You know, I don't respond to any negativity, so it just is what it is. So
yeah, I'm shocked that Tariq gave you flack. I'm shocked.
Oh yeah, he did a whole live about me. Said I was an immigrant and I'm an FBI agent and all this crazy stuff. And what's crazy is the first year of my program, you know, me and my boys, we had a whole like 2 days where we sat and just watched Hidden Colors like for 2 days straight. You know, so I didn't get it. You know, he was one of the people I like, but same with Roland. He was one of the people I like too. But hey, people show their true colors. It is what it is.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna speak on that. And I'll tell you like this. First and foremost, since you watch Hidden Colors, you know who Kaba Kamene is, right?
I don't know who that is. It's been a while.
He's the guy from Hidden Colors with the mustache and like the ponytail, like the historian.
Okay.
Hey, he was a guest on this show, and we know him personally. So here's the thing: if you go to his website, he has a curriculum that you could use. But what I'm going to do, and I know Maine is down to do it too. We're going to do our best to get you in contact with him. That way, he can help you on that side with the curriculum, because, bro, he's the truth.
He's a former educator. So
yes, sir.
He's the truth. And what we probably going to end up doing too is have him have a conversation with Tariq, so we can squash that too. Because once again,
I don't care to squash it.
No. So the reason why I say that is because when you know with Hidden Colors, the information in that documentary is amazing. So if the history in that documentary is amazing and those kids saw that, it shouldn't be that the person who actually did the documentary or whose documentary it is should have a bad taste in his mouth about their teacher. That's not a good look. Like that, damn all that conflict. Right. You know how we got to end that bullshit anyway, because it ain't worth it, especially with what you're doing. Because when I say I commend you in every single way, you did more in 2 years than a particular person in our community has done. And I'm not gonna say the name. I'm not even gonna say the name, but there's somebody supposed to start a school how many years ago? And you're doing it, but you're showing it, and you're about action, and you're not about symbolism, bro. That shit to me is amazing. When I say I commend you, and I'm gonna do I'm talking about anybody I know that has like resources, even if it's tangible resources. I'm gonna get them in contact with you so that they can help you with that damn school and everything else that you got going on. Without a doubt.
Definitely appreciate it. Yes, sir.
The farmers, we hook them up with the farmers and everything. Okay, yeah, for sure, man.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Quenisha said, "Let Randall know I followed him on YouTube." So you just got you a new subscriber. You got a new subscriber.
Yeah, I see the comments right here. I appreciate it.
Okay, dope. So to go back to your viral video, did you expect what did you expect? First, what did you expect going on Roland's show?
Well, I knew he wanted to debate or whatever, but originally I ain't gonna say we fell out, but where I didn't, I stopped being a fan was I made a video like a few months ago, and I was just like, I believe, we just need to start getting out and doing for self in our communities. I'm like, it's time out for waiting on the government and stuff. I don't have time for that anymore. We not stupid, so let's stop acting like we slow or acting like we need the government and stuff, and let's go do for ourselves. And so he retweeted the video and called me an idiot. And so I was just like, okay. So, but I didn't really respond to it or whatever. So anywho, fast forward to a few months later, the voting bill that passed or whatever, he retweeted it and he was like, so what do Black Republicans got to say about this? And I was just like, I'm not a Republican, I'm a conservative. I'm like, that's two different things. I'm like, but I'm like, I mean, voting is not my fight. I'm like, I don't get into that because I don't believe that's going to change nothing in our communities, you know, unless it's on the local level. But as far as like major federal stuff, I'm just like, I believe all that stuff already pre-picked. That's just me. I honestly don't believe that America is going to really let people choose the president. No. But anyway, that's just what I believe. But other than that, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'll vote. I'm like, but that's not how as much energy as y'all put into voting, you should put that into teaching us, you know, how to do for self in our community. That's what Malcolm, you know, taught us.
Right.
But yeah, so he said something about voting. I was just like, well, I don't get into voting. So he tagged another friend of mine who is a Republican or whatever, and you know, they had a little spat, and so he was like, I bet he want to invite us on the show. I said nah, because all he gonna do is get on there and act like a female, like he always do. and so he said, well, bring y'all asses on the show. So I came by myself because my friend, he's the press secretary for Byron Donalds in Florida, so he wasn't able to come on. So I came on. I told him before in the tweet, I was like, I'm voting is not my fight, but all right. So he started asking questions about the voting thing or whatever, and I answered all his questions. But I was just like, that's not my fight. Everybody, you know, in our community has different parts of the body, you know, so I'm just like, if that's your part of the body to fight in, that's cool. But I work with children. He's like, well, what is your fight? I'm like, I fight for young black men before they die. That's my fight or whatever. And then he's like, well, what do you mean by do for self? Explain that. He didn't vet me before I came on the show. He thought I was going to come on there with some theory. I didn't got no theory. I got work that I already been doing. You know, everybody come with theory about doing for self. No, let me tell you about doing for self because I've been through it already. But yeah, so I told him about what I'm doing, etc. And you know, he started trying to argue with me and never said good job or, you know, anything like that. And I'm just like, come on, dude, like I don't get it, you know. But he kept trying to argue with me the whole time and never wanted to, you know. Yeah. I honestly, I wasn't even disagreeing with some of the stuff he was saying. I was like, I agree, you know, I agree, but he still just wanted to fight, and so that put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. About that. He lost a lot of followers and viewers from that interview. But honestly, the video didn't even go viral until like 2 weeks later. Like I had been at that interview and I just happened to see these clips start circulating on social media, you know, when people took the, you know, the one clip do for self and they sent it. I mean, it was everywhere. It was on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, it was everywhere. Like it was everywhere. And like our merchandise on my store on the website, I have a merchandise team. We made the orders like, you know, to order because we was only getting like 1 or 2 shirt orders like a week or if that. And we got like 560 orders in like one whole day. Wow. And then like the next 2 days, it was like 200 and 300 orders. So I had to close the store because we were so backed up and they still catching up now. They're trying to wait all the way to the 30th to be able to catch up all the orders. But like we got so many orders, like, and then the support was just overwhelming. Like celebrities was reaching out. Rihanna hit me and she was like, she want to come to the school. Like, I mean, Layla Ali, I mean, everybody was hitting. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I mean, I couldn't even keep up with everybody trying to reach out to help and just, you know, show their support. But he lost a lot of followership. Then he tried to make another video after that, trying to defend himself, quote unquote, and he got trashed again for that. So, I mean, that just is what it is. I just was like, hey, people were like, well, so how do you feel about it? I'm like, I got all love for him. I appreciate him for bringing me on the show because you let the whole world know what I was doing. So I appreciate you.
I see. Yeah, that definitely worked out in your favor. And I was going to say, you know what? Don't feed stuff like that your energy because what you're doing is big and there are kids out here that need it. So I wouldn't feed that any energy. And I would actually be appreciative to him for bringing that to the forefront. You know, so he actually did something great for you. Although prior to that, he's talking about what you're doing for clicks or whatever. And it's like, I mean, come on. I mean, don't feed it your energy. And so really to move on with that, I wanted to ask, what's the future of your organization, of the School for Kids? Like, what is it how do you see this, say, 5 years from now?
Ooh. That's a little stretch because the only thing about 5 years is that so much has happened for us so quickly. Yeah. Like I never really know where I'm going to be in 5 years. I don't even know where I'm going to be at this time next year. Like I have a goal, but it's like my goals always get shattered within like a month or two. So like
this being something that's going to happen in other states, maybe, you know, or more of these locations in Georgia.
Absolutely. So of course, many different cities like close around the Albany area have horrible crime rates, as well as illiteracy being a huge issue in these different areas. What we want to do when we open the Life Preparatory School for Boys here in Albany first and foremost, we want to make sure that the formula is working where we are. We want to make sure that we're grounded where we are before we even begin to think about franchising or opening up other schools here and there. And we don't want to become one of those organizations that have branches everywhere, and the founders never been to this branch and never it's just too much going on. I'm just like, no, we want to make sure the formula is working everywhere we go. Where we are, right now is we want to make sure the formula is working. We want to make sure the children are actually changing. So of course, whenever we do expand, we want to go there, vet the area, study the area, work with the children there, see what's going to be best for those children there before, we just open up a new location here and there. But yes, of course, I do plan to open it up in different cities and different states eventually. So in 5 years, I do plan to be in, maybe 2 or 3 different other states, but I want to make sure we're working on the main areas here in Southwest Georgia. So I plan to expand to maybe Macon, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, just kind of around my area first, and then expand as time goes by. Because I do believe the program is extremely important, and the effect we've been having on the children has been great. So I want to make sure we're able to keep that going where we are. But I definitely see it expanding one day. But just we want to make sure we're taking it one step at a time. We want to make sure that the children are actually changing their lives.
Right, and that's excellent. That's your focus, and that's what I mean by let's not feed that negative energy.
Right, absolutely.
That's all it is. Although I know you're appreciative that he put it out there like that, but I wouldn't feed it any energy. What you're doing is something that's like what a lot of people aren't doing, or they do it. They'll sponsor something, once a year, and this is what you're doing sounds like this is 365. This really becomes, growth. For those boys. So that's great. And so speaking of sponsorship, someone just asked in the chat, how do they sponsor a child? Or I'll take it as far as saying, how do people actually, give to this organization?
Absolutely. You can find all of that on the website at theexforboys.org. If you want to sponsor a child for like our summer program, or whenever we get tuition ready for the school will be free for the children. We do have yearly donors, et cetera, that are taking care of us to the point where we're able to get the children in the school for free. And that was my biggest concern. We have so many people that believe in what we're doing to the point where every child's going to be there for free. But we do have like certain areas for people to be able to sponsor the children for different programs, different field trips, etc. So that way everything can remain free for the children, because the children that can't afford it are the ones that we need. But you can go to the exforboys.org. You can go to the contact us tab. And if you just want to simply donate, you can go to the donate tab. If you have anything you want to send us, like physical books or tools or what have you, our shipping address is on there. People send us all types of stuff. We got gumball machines and fishing poles and all type of stuff people sent for us to have. My house is just full of stuff people sent. So we have plenty of weight benches. I mean, everything. People have sent all types of stuff for the boys to be able to use. So everything's on the website. Any questions you may have, the website should be able to answer for you at theexforboys.org.
Okay, that's great. So viewers, y'all heard it. I actually pinned the link in the YouTube comment section, so you can go directly to the website, and that's how you can look and see how to donate to it. I think what you're doing is great. I really
appreciate it. Thank you.
I've heard people talk about it. Like I said, I hear these, certain programs come around once or twice a year. But at the end of the day, this is these kids' lives. This is not just once a year. This is life for them. And I think what you're doing is excellent. So
absolutely. I appreciate it.
If you can donate to this, if you want to send, items of whatever, sounds like you guys will take whatever you can. Do it. If you have some type of organization through your church or through your social club, or you just want to send some stuff, do it.
Awesome. Yeah. Randall, not to this show is about bigging you up. So, but I like your mindset and your thinking, and with that, you said something very interesting, and I kind of say the same thing. If everybody watch on the show, I always say, the Democrat Republican thing is an illusion. It's all about conservatives and liberals, and you got them on both sides.
Right.
So, but what they have done is they gave us a picture of what a conservative looked like. Same thing they did with Jesus. If everybody closed, well, maybe not the ones who are woke and understand what's going on, but if you were younger or didn't know, if you you close your eyes and say an image of Jesus, it would look like a white guy with long hair.
Yep.
That's the same thing they've done with conservatives. So
right.
Most of our people, when you hear conservative, you think of somebody white. You don't think
right.
You don't remember that we have conservative values to begin with. I mean, I think all of us have conservative values.
Every time I come on like a show or something, because what's been beautiful, it has been like major to see me. I finally, coming on like a lot of pro-black platforms now, because people were thinking, oh, you can't be pro-black, etc., like that. But I'm just like, you should hear the message. But people have seen the work, that I've been doing. They're like, well, what is conservatism? What is that? So I started explaining it, and they like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought you was like Candace Owens or somebody. I'm like, nah, that's what they're gonna give you on TV. No, we out here putting in work, so that's what I believe in. But that's media for you. Yeah. That's just gonna be media for you, but you have to be able to have conversations. And that's the biggest thing. Conversations are the most important thing when it comes to, dialogue and, anything like that. I believe that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Good shit.
My man, and for anybody out there, if you wanna, wait a minute, we got King. This is somebody representing Knowledge Reigns Supreme. He wanted to come on to ask you a question, but it says device is not connected, so we gonna wait on that. But what I want to let you know as far as on my side, wait a minute, I think we might be, nope, he gone. On my side, we also have a couple that make soaps.
Mm-hmm.
So they can reach out to you. Main one mentioned the farmers that was on the show. We definitely want to link them up with you. We want to link them up with you. And do you know about Moon Jug Water? Have you ever heard of that?
No, sir.
It's a spring. I forgot exactly where I don't know if they're in Athens or whatever, but it's a couple, and they have a spring. Like they deliver the water here to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think y'all need to link up without question.
Just send me all the everybody information, like the soap people, the farm people. Like, let me know. I'm always trying to support our people's business. So I mean, whatever soaps they got on the website, I go order all of them. Whatever Moon Water, I get like 20 cases. We got to make sure we support our people. Yeah. So.
And not even just supporting, it's just, they can, plug you into, the water. They can plug, they because I think they do something where, they can teach the kids how to make their own soap. And, the farmers, that'd be beautiful. Add some stuff to your repertoire as far as farming and stuff like that too. Mm-hmm. So, not just supporting, because supporting is great, but, we want also, network,
Right.
Exactly.
I was about to say, networking is key.
And I'm going to tell you what Homeboy said on the show. Bruh, if you take those kids to that farm, if they put in work, y'all leaving with some food. He said it's just hard for people to come. And I already know your kids ain't shy of hard work. They're going to go there and they're going to put in the work. I know that for a fact.
Nah. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'll show y'all some pictures too. Hold on. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yeah. Yes, we can.
All right, cool. All right. So this is one of some of the houses we painted. So this is before. And that's after. It was a green and white house, and then right here is a before and after.
Okay.
They do a really good job. This is firearms training. I believe this is extremely important. I have about 14 weapons. So the boys learn how to shoot them all. This is my granddad right here, and these are some of his weapons. So he helped with that. But we try to make sure they do lots of firearms training. We just had our last firearms training course maybe about a week ago. But this is plasma cutting. They learn how to cut metal with a plasma cutter.
Wow.
So just stuff for them to get into, changing toilets, ceiling fans, painting people's houses, the doorknob, sheetrock, just a lot of things. Fencing, learn how to put up fences.
Yeah. I need y'all to come up here. I need
this is most people know us for right here is automotive repair.
Nice.
This is a lot of our automotive repair workshops. We're doing brakes and rotors and oil changes. This is changing the thermostat right here. That's a thermostat right there. Yeah, but this is brakes and rotors. I mean, I've been doing this for a good little while now, but yeah, those are mostly a few of the things that we do in the X for Boys.
Man, that's
nice. Quick question. So just say people in the Albany area, do they just reach out to you to request this type of work?
Well, when I was free, that's what I used to do. I became like the neighborhood handyman.
Okay.
Because you know I had lost my job right before I started working with the boys. So, but I didn't want to stop working with them. So I just decided I got on YouTube. I learned how to cut some hair. Got on YouTube and learned how to fix like certain things on cars that I didn't know I already know how to do. And even to the point where when I started painting houses, I was actually painting the insides of houses at one point. And one day, me and my little brother, he was 14 at the time. He's 15 now. But we actually were in Lowe's and I was picking out some paint for somebody. And this lady was like, "Hey, do you paint houses?" And I was like, "Yeah, I paint houses."
Okay.
And yeah. But so me and my little brother, we went home that night and we sat up all night watching videos on YouTube how to paint houses. And we got there and kicked butt. And that's how we did it. Yeah. So you know, just you gotta want to do it. You know, you gotta want to do it. And my little brother, like, he's watched me do this stuff. Like, I got on YouTube, learned how to cut hair. I cut all my boys' hair now. I was cutting everybody hair around the neighborhood. I mean, I was doing really good. And I got real good at cutting hair. Now I don't really cut nobody hair but my best friend because I get so busy. But other than that, you know, I cut his hair or my boys, but that's about it. You know, I got real good at fixing cars and, you know, changing ceiling fans and toilets and stuff, you know, and we made it happen.
That's incredible. And let me tell you, I would not expect anyone, you know, to reach out to you and expect you to do this for free because they know what you're doing. They know what you're working on. There's a bigger picture to this. So I was just curious to know for the people who's viewing in your area, is that possible to reach out to you just to give you projects, hands-on projects for the boys?
Absolutely. I kind of like. Right, I'll make a post about it. Like this weekend, we have a workshop that we need to do Saturday, and I just make a post. Who needs their brake change or their oil change? Because now I can do that stuff. I do it for free now, just for the workshops. I'm just like, who needs their oil change or brake change? So that way I can make it into a workshop for the boys. Okay, and that's what I do.
Okay, I wish I was in the area.
Yeah, I always try to make everything a workshop. Any little thing I need to go and do. Hey, workshop, come bring it behind. Come on, let's go. So.
Man, that's super inspiring. I mean, and it's something that everybody can do in their community. Everybody got a mechanic in their community that can just round up some boys that, you know, and say, "Hey, I'm gonna teach y'all how to do this on a Saturday," or, you know how to cut hair or anything. I mean, these are simple solutions that a lot of people just not willing to do. You know, I talked to somebody the other day, and they know how to sew, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't know you knew how to sew." She was like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, why don't you, teach some of these young girls or boys, how to sew, how to make their own clothes?" I ain't got the time. I was like, "See, this is the problem. This is the problem."
Yeah. You know what? Our younger people are our future. I mean, that's I know that's a bit of a cliche, but it's true. They really are, and you have to take out time with them for stuff like this because we can turn out better than them on these streets. That's how I see it. You're
train replacements.
Exactly. You're giving them something tangible, something to do, and you're showing them, like you said earlier, that you don't have to be a basketball player or a rapper or something like that. You can get out here and do it yourself. Whatever it is that you dream about, you can make it happen. Right. And you're giving them that. And to me, I applaud you for that.
I appreciate it. Absolutely.
All right, King, we about to give you your first question from my man King. Bring him to the stage real quick. All right, King, you the floor is yours. Go ahead and talk to the young King.
Yes. What's up, King Randall? What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Hey,
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. So it's crazy because Jerome, I had a client and the client canceled. So I said, "Yo, I gotta run and get to this show." So I guess this is meant to be. So King Randall, I just want to thank you, brother. I'm 35 years old, but just understand I'm inspired by what you're doing. I see a lot of what you do within me as well. When I was your age, you make no excuses, just get the job done. So I'm really appreciative of your work and what you're doing. My question would be, first off, because like someone highlighted the fact that being black, right, or being a melanated person, being presume that you're a liberal or a Democrat, right? And because you came out as a black conservative, because you went so viral and so many people got through to you through that Roland Martin channel interview, where do you think you see black conservatism go in the next 10 years or so? Because I think you start to see a shift with the Candace Owens, the Brandon Tatums, and things like that. But I think because of you, and I know you're only 21 years old, I'm not putting this solely on your plate, but where, because of that impact that I feel you made, where do you see Black conservatism going in the next 10 years or so?
Well, I think I definitely could be used as a catalyst for people to understand that if you're talking about a community that you've done no work in, then that's a cue, for people to unfollow that person. And that's kind of where people are seeing with me. They're just like, oh, like he don't really have to talk, bad about the Black community so much because he's actually being the change he wants to see. Because you got these people that are trying to talk about our community in front of white audiences. I don't like that. Because I have a lot of white followers, a lot of white people love what I do, etc., like that. But I don't allow them to be in my space. Like when I do say something addressing my community, they not going to come under my post and agree or say, yeah, Black people do need to do this. I'm like, no, that ain't your place. You be quiet. This ain't for you to talk about or whatever. But I think it's people are being able to understand now and listen and understand that they have been being lied to, in regards to what the Democratic Party has been doing to them and the Republican Party has been doing to them, because I can come and tell you, like, I've been doing work and they're able to listen. Not to mention people are going to have to learn how to change their messaging, because you got these other Black conservatives that have made a bad reputation for other Black conservatives because they get pushed out and they're like, oh, Black people so stupid and Black people too dumb for this and Black people this, that, and the third. So this is why your everyday Black person, when they hear the word Black conservative, they're like, oh no, you Candace Owen, Brandon Tanner, you just like that, until I start talking to them. They're like, oh, you don't sound nothing like them. I'm just like, well, I know I don't, because I'm your everyday regular Black person that grew up in the hood, that have done hood stuff, that ate ices out of styrofoam cups, that did all the little nine, in the hood, but these people, are going to try to tell you, what's best for you, et cetera, and they aren't even doing no work in the community. They just running their mouths the whole time, which is why so many people I've noticed get intimidated when, when people speak about me, because they see I've been doing work. I mean, anybody could go whenever they look at my name on social media, etc. They go scroll and it's work for the past 2 years. I hadn't had to talk, so much because I've just been doing work. And so these people, come and say, oh, well, Black people this and Black people that, and our statistics say this and this, that, and the third. Okay, what are you doing to actively change that? So now, I'm so appreciative of what happened, because now it's like people are asking questions. Everyday Black people are like, so like the other day I was walking, down the street because I was going to pick something up, and somebody was like, hey, are you that guy that was on the Rolling March show? So why Donald Trump, or why, Republicanism, and why conservatism? And so I had to kind of okay, whoa, that ain't it. Let me talk to you for a second. And they're like, oh, okay. But people are willing to talk to me and ask questions because, well, he actually does care about our community because he's doing work. But these people that don't live in the community, that don't marry people that look like them, none of that stuff, trying to tell Black folk, what they should do and what they should become. Ain't nobody trying to listen to you. Absolutely not. Black folks don't want to listen to you because you not the everyday Black person. You Black skin, so it's just, I think in the next 10 years or so, I definitely believe if people, if I do continue to rise, et cetera, and, continue with my message, I definitely feel like people will, look at us in a different light.
Great answer. Yeah. And I definitely agree with you. At the end of the day, in my opinion, your skin color doesn't define, or your skin color doesn't define your party. That's why I feel like it's so offensive where Joe Biden says, if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. So
that threw me
before, right. We didn't come out the womb being a liberal or conservative or whatever the case is. So that's a great answer, and I appreciate everything you're doing. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Absolutely.
All right, Holmes. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Holmes. Yo, I think another good suggestion, and it could possibly work because he's always on Clubhouse. Bro, you need to have you talked to Les Brown yet?
Well, Les Brown. Oh man, I got a few of his books. I haven't actually talked to him directly.
Bam. And this is the reason why I'm saying this. He always tells a story about when he ran, I think for Congress or something like that, and how it happened. And he won. He destroyed the dude, but it was local. Like he destroyed the guy. And it happened because of the work that he was doing. People knew who he was. I think the same thing would happen. And if it's local, that would help, that would just help in the cause. Hands down. We both know national, that shit ain't gonna work. Because it ain't gonna happen. It won't, the work that you want to do, it won't happen. They'll like silence you a little bit. But locally, fam, yeah, you definitely could do some damage. I think Harold, are you there?
Muted.
You're muted, Harold.
You muted.
All right, what about now?
There you go. If you got a question, go ahead, big bro.
Yeah, I just want to first want to give you props, brother, for what you're doing. Because our young people they need to see people doing it, and you doing it. You're not asking for handouts. You're making it happen, man. We're proud of you, man. We're proud of you. I'm from Millersville. I spoke to my cousin and my best friend, Dr. Emmett Grizzle at Albany Tech. He told me you came through there, and you told me about the vision, and he gave high praise to you for what you're doing. And I just wanted to share that with you. But my question is when there's an opportunity to get other mentors, do you have something in place for other mentors? And the reason why I'm asking that because I like my dad and like your stepdad. My dad taught me how to change oil, do brakes, and all that. And I believe that this knowledge that you have, you got to pass it on to somebody else. And the reason why I'm asking because and if you offer mentorship and if I'm available, I'll be glad to help out as much as I can. I know a lot about welding, building houses. I worked in code enforcement for about 8 years. And I know a lot about automotive, and so I'm just asking that question. You ready to open up for some more mentors? What's your plan on that?
Absolutely. Well, first off, definitely, Dr. Griswold. I went to Albany Tech when I was in high school. I actually graduated from Albany Tech before I graduated from high school. I graduated in culinary arts. I got a degree in culinary. Quite interesting.
Wow.
But yeah, so so for other volunteers, we have on the website, if you go to the volunteer tab, people that may or may not live in the city of Albany, they could basically say what they'd like to do. Are they able to travel to the city of Albany? And we will put you all in a list. So whenever we're ready to start accepting volunteers, et cetera, we'll put you through the necessary process for background checks, et cetera, et cetera. So definitely you just go on the website and put in on the volunteer tab, put your name, email, etc., and we'll make sure we keep you updated for the next few things we'll have in the next coming months for when we'll start accepting more volunteers. We just have to make sure we take them through a full process because obviously everybody ain't got our best interests at heart, and we want to make sure we ain't bringing no crazies around the children. But definitely we want to make sure the boys are learning as much as they can, as well as certified mechanics, certified welders, etc. People that are certified in these different areas to be able to teach the boys different things. We want to make sure they're able to come and they're able to get paid for their services to be able to teach the boys different things that they need to know. So absolutely, we will be accepting volunteers soon. So please go, if you want to, go to the extraboys.org, go to the volunteer tab, and then put in your information.
Nice.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. Perfect. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
All right, Harold.
No, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you. You just don't know. Knowledge reigns supreme, man. We've been talking about you for a whole week. Man, we just excited about what you're doing, man. Let me tell you something. I want to say this. Fool, let me tell them this. Look, brother, look, just keep marching on. Don't worry about who's on the left, who's on the right like you've been doing. Just keep marching, man, because it doesn't matter what they say. It matters what you're doing. And you're doing a good work, man, and we're proud of you, man. You'll be surprised of all the people that have seen what you're doing, especially our clan at Knowledge Reigns Supreme, man. We're just excited for you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. We love you, man.
Thank you,
brother. We love you.
Love you too.
Absolutely. We got a question in the chat. Tashawn, she says, "I'd like to hear more about your conservative views, King. I don't personally align to any term, but I know a lot of people would consider it liberal, even though I don't identify as that. So I'm curious as to know what makes you conservative."
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I definitely believe in the traditional nuclear family. I don't subscribe to any of the nonsense with trying to medically transform our children into different genders, giving them medicine to change their genders, etc. I don't subscribe to any of that. I'm pro-gun. I love weapons, and I believe all gun control is racist. I don't understand how we believe that the government is racist, and then we want the government to be the only people with guns. That makes no sense. So I don't get that. I believe in conserving our family structure, conserving our traditional family values. I also believe in our Constitution and things like that. People don't understand that regardless of us, we built America. I have to make sure people understand that I'm going to call myself an American because we built this. So I don't know why people don't want to do that. I'm like, but if my whole ancestry built this joint, yeah, I'm an American, absolutely. But we have to make sure we're in the necessary processes to make sure that we're benefiting from all the different things that we can benefit from being here in America. Because if immigrants, African immigrants can come over to this country and make it happen and become millionaires in 1 or 2 years, there's something that they know that we don't. So I want to make sure that we are, benefiting from the things that we should be benefiting from being American here. Also, I definitely believe that my biggest thing is just making sure that we don't understand the processes in government. I do believe that we have to really study our Constitution, study our Bill of Rights, etc. Study the Declaration of Independence. There are things that we don't really pay attention to that in those areas that we could benefit from. So I definitely feel like all of this other stuff that's going on right now, especially in the government, most of us don't agree with it. It's just what media has told us in regards to Joe Biden, et cetera, but half of the stuff that they're passing, nobody agrees with, because I can't find the first black person that agrees that children should be getting medically injected to change their gender. That makes no sense. I'm like, why would you do that to a child? Almost as far to the point where they're actually going to consider it child abuse. If you decide, if your child says, if they say that your child has significant gender dysphoria, they will take your child away from you if you say that your child can't have this certain medication to change them into a girl, or to stop their testosterone, or to stop their estrogen from producing, or they call them puberty blockers. And they'll take your child away from you. They'll call it child abuse. It's happened before. I posted videos about it. About this about this one guy. He declined for his daughter to be changed to a boy, or to acknowledge her as a boy, and they sent him to jail. And they gave him jail multiple times because he kept calling her a she and his daughter. And they were like, you're going to address, the child as a boy, and stuff like that. But this is what they're passing. And I'm just like, all this stuff going on, it's absolutely ridiculous. But what I believe the traditional family is a man, a woman, and children. That's what I believe traditional family is. Not none of this nonsense that's going on. Now, I don't have a problem with LGBT. That's I don't care what you do. That's between you and what you decide to do in the bed. However, I don't feel like none of that stuff should be pushed on our children. Absolutely not. I don't understand why it's being pushed on our children. It literally only means who you decide you want to have sex with. That's right. Literally it. I'm just like, what you decide to do in the bedroom is on you. That's between you and your partner or whatever. So I don't really care what you decide to do in the bed, but I don't need you going to tell my children what you decide to do in the bed. They ain't even thinking about sex, right. But y'all pushing this on them and all this stuff and teaching them how to, have sex anally and all that stuff. Like they teaching these kids like how to have homosexual sex and all that goodness or whatever. Yeah, they doing all this goodness, but that's your president. So it's just all this, oh my God, it ain't Trump. As long as it ain't Trump, I'm like, nah, y'all need to pay attention. Like I was trying to show people what was in these different things they trying to pass before he got there. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, look at this stuff. And they like, oh, it ain't Trump. It ain't Trump. I'm like, dude, okay, he talked trash. I'm like, but I'm telling you, man, y'all gonna be in for a rude awakening when Joe Biden behind get in there and like all this stuff happening right now. And I'm just like, man,
the lesser of two evils is what they call it.
That's what I said. But I keep telling people, regardless of folks like want to get mad at, oh, you decided to vote for Trump. I'm just like, dude, don't know what no president care about you. The government don't care about you, period. Oh, that's why I believe in less government. I'm like, I don't even know why y'all want the government invested in y'all lives like that. Anyway, them presidents don't care about you. Ain't not one president came in there and care about black folk. Not one of them. So I'm just like, what you mad about? Oh, this president don't care about me. Well, you I mean, come on, dude. I'm just like, come on, man. I don't get it.
Nail on the head.
Yeah, I don't get it. But I just believe in everything. Basically, anytime somebody asks me about conservative values, what your granddaddy believed in. That's what conservative values is. Yeah, what your granddaddy believed in, your great granddaddy believed in. That's what I believe in teaching. What had our families together.
And the funny thing about it all is that I think if more melanated people really get into some of these values, you'll find out you're not as liberal as you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely. It's you're what TV tells you to be.
Exactly, or what your family and friends tell you to be, because a lot of that sometimes is just, what your friends say and what they think, this, that, and the third. Don't get me wrong, we all have our different ideas and values.
Right. We're not a monolith.
I'm like you, LGBTQ. I hope I'm saying it right. Listen, you should have the right to love who you want to love, but at the end of the day, I'm on board with you. Don't teach that to my child in school. Let me be the one that break that down to them. I feel like certain issues should be handled by family, by parents, or whoever the caretakers are. Why are we putting this in school?
Right.
Yeah.
That particular subject. So that's where I'm a little like, I'm personally, I'm very liberal, but at the end of the day, there's certain things that I'm not on board with. I'm just not, and that's one of them.
Well,
absolutely.
It's all part of the plan to depopulate. So,
that's another conversation.
Yeah, that's another conversation. But it's all weaved in together. It's all weaved in together.
I have a question for you, King.
Go ahead.
I'm wondering, I know you said you don't, you're not 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever. But do you have any local political ambition?
No, I used to want to.
You knew that question was coming, right?
Of course. People have asked a lot about my political aspirations. People have said that I'm doing this now to try to pave my way to run for something. I changed my mind. When I was younger, when I was in high school, I used to want to be the president one day. When I was and I planned on running for mayor of my city and all that stuff. But once I actually got older and understood like actual, impact of how stuff works, etc., I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to run for any politics anymore. I'm just like, I feel like I'm more powerful than them, at the moment. They calling me to have dinner and stuff like that. So I'm just like,
what you're doing, absolutely. I was just curious to know because I see what you're doing is something that's of excellence. So
I think I'll be able to stay excellent as long as I stay out of that arena.
There you go. There you go. Stay out the system as much as possible.
So that was the loaded question with Roland Martin, I think his name is. Was
Roly
that
Poly.
Okay? Hashtag peeps, roly poly. I actually like some of his commentary, but I just wanted to ask: were some of your views something that he was kind of combative over, like what you're saying tonight?
I'm not necessarily sure. I think just in general, he just wanted to be combative just simply because I said I was a black conservative. That's the only reason he wanted to battle. And I'm just like, just because I'm a conservative don't mean that I don't, see racism, or I don't believe that there's a such thing as white supremacy, or that I don't believe there's a such thing, black people are being done wrong in certain areas. So, that's kind of, why he wanted to sit there and argue the whole time. I'm just like, dude, like, I'm not even disagreeing with you. Like, if you watch the show, I wasn't even really disagreeing with him. I was just like, okay, cool. I understand. I agree. But he wanted to fight.
I see that because I watch a lot of his commentary, on YouTube and Facebook or whatever. And, sometimes it makes for good, can't call it entertainment, but it makes for good conversation because there are not a lot of, melanated people that's taken that particular stance. So, like I can say, I honestly don't agree with a lot of the conservative views, but when it comes to people like, the Candace Owenses, it's certain things I can listen to.
Okay. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. This the third time this don't happen with 3 different people. CO does not get any recognition on this show. I gotta say that. Like when I say I stress this because, and this is my point of saying this. And I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from. She is an opportunist. And she says shit to get a buzz. King puts action behind it. Right. And she's an opportunist. I never want to say her name.
Gotcha. And that's one of the names we actually never said.
Yeah, like.
So now I know it's Theo.
Yeah.
What's been interesting? Actually, her manager reached out to my team, and we're potentially looking at going on her show.
Don't do it. Please.
So why not?
Please don't do it.
But look though, so we've been kind of in deliberations about it, but I'm probably going to end up accepting. The reason why is I need to be there, even though you think that is not a good idea, it's the best idea because we're not going to agree on a lot of things. Right. Candace don't really have a lot of people on her shows and things like that actually can come on there as an everyday black person and be like, no, that ain't it. What you're saying, no, she needs that. This is going to be a beautiful conversation because I'm a conservative too. This is going to be a beautiful conversation, you know. And I know a lot of people are going to like, you know, see me on the show. Oh, he done gone there with Candace on, you know, and ain't even gonna watch it. They're just gonna see me and Candace on there, you know. But I'm like, no, watch the show because we're not gonna agree on everything. And I'm gonna tell her like, nah, that ain't it. No,
there you go.
You know, you can't say that, you know. But that's needed because she's not gonna allow nobody else on her show that she just completely disagrees with. She don't just think like we just gonna get on there and just debate, but it may happen because some of the things she says I don't like, some of the things she do say I like, you know. But
that's what I was saying.
You know, but it's gonna be great. I need to go. I need to be on there as an everyday black person.
This is why it's so great because you need to. I would say I'm a proponent for you going because she needs pushback. Everybody, even Roly Poly, he needs. You have to give pushback. You can't just let them come up there and say these outlandish stuff, and then they have people on the show that's just oh yeah,
exactly. No, that's all she has on the show. No, you need somebody that's gonna come on there and be like, hey.
Now, in her defense, I have heard her say some stuff that makes sense.
It lot.
It makes a lot of sense. Now,
it's just the way she says it and the never any praise. That's one thing I don't like. I'm like, you never praise the community. I'm like, there's never any praise. It's always we're doing this bad. We're stupid. You know that I don't like that.
And then what work are you doing in the community?
Exactly.
Like you said.
Exactly.
So if you're saying this about it, then what are you doing to combat that? You know.
Exactly. So that's where I am, and I would love to go on there and say that. And I would love to go say that.
What you say, Fo?
I'm sitting over here pissed off because I got so much respect for him. I'm gonna have to watch the show with her raggedy ass. I gotta watch the show to support him. I swear every time she talks, I just want to say, I wish somebody slapped the shit out of her.
Yeah. Let me tell you, she gets so much flack sometimes. I get it, but at the end of the day, you got to give a little credit where it's due. She brings up certain topics that we need to discuss.
No, that part I'm not denying. My issue is it's the messenger. She's not doing anything. I want to hear that message from somebody who's putting their boots on the ground. It's totally different. I don't want to hear from somebody who says racial discrimination doesn't exist, but she has a lawsuit when she sues somebody for racial discrimination. I can't rock with you because her morals and values aren't there.
You're not aligned.
That's for me.
I definitely get it.
But
I'm with Maine. I say do it because you're going to give her a little bit of pushback here and there, and you get that name out there, the xforboys.org. You're going to get that out there, just like with Roland. Same thing,
right? And I think it's just going to be beautiful for our community to see anyway. I think because I know I have a lot of pro-black friends and things like that follow me. So for them to like, what he doing on Candace show? Let me go see what he's doing. So I'm able to get on there and have a real conversation with her, and open up a lot of dialogue. She may change her mind on a few things. I don't know what may happen.
You never know. We never know unless we have dialogue, and that's what
gotta have conversation
is about. Exactly, you gotta have that dialogue. Like I said, there are a lot of us, melanated liberals who actually have a lot of conservative values, and you don't even know it until the topic come up on how you feel about it.
Just make sure you record it because knowing her monkey ass. It's gonna be a matter of sound bites and shit, and she's not gonna put out everything that you say. Make sure you put it on your own, so you got everything.
Yeah, don't let them cut out.
So the way the new show is, it'll be live.
Great. Are you? Is there a conversation before about the questions that you'll have like before?
I don't like doing that. I usually, I hate doing that. I always like it just to come natural, even if I have to sit and pause and think about it for a second. I love for it to be natural because usually, if I she said you have to pay to watch it. I would, if it does come out or whatever, I would post clips on my page. I ain't gonna make nobody go pay for her show to watch it. No. I'll make sure it go on YouTube and stuff for people to watch it. But other than that, but I don't know, man, just a lot.
I say consider it.
I
mean, go from there.
They want to get you on to use them. Use them to promote, to further promote
Right.
your website and your organization, what you doing.
Because I know the narrative that they're going to try to push is, oh, see, look, here's a black person that ain't doing, that's not asking white people out. They're going to try to do that whole little thing like they do. And I'm going to be like, nah, let me flip that around for you real quick. I ain't saying this stuff don't exist.
See, and and I think that's the ignorance of our community so far, because we don't look at everything. We always look at things from a linear point of view, a black and white. We don't look at. See, I watch Fox News. I watch CNN. I watch all of them, so I can pick them apart. It's this black analyst that's on there. I forget what his name is, man, but he's awesome on Fox. And I never thought I would like.
You talking about Lawrence Jones?
Yeah, that guy.
Beautiful brother. He loves me to death.
Yeah. That guy's dope.
Yeah, I know Mr. Yeah, I know Lawrence. Me and Lawrence was just together. Like February? Yeah.
Wow, that's
incredible.
So you gotta be able to hear both sides, and then use your own common sense, your own judgment to discern, between the bull crap.
Right. Yep.
It's up, my man. Like I said, I love you, bro. So I'm gonna watch it.
As a matter of fact, if I get on the show, I'm gonna give you a special shout out. I'm like, shout out to my brother. Look, shout out, Candace. Can you say his name? Say it, Candace. Say his name.
There you go.
He gonna start. His skin gonna start crawling.
Oh shit!
Very last question for me.
Mm-hmm.
You have this wisdom, this intellect about you. Where does all this come from?
Reading. Definitely will say reading. Of course, I have a good family, who made sure I was taught correctly and things like that, but mostly reading. Reading is extremely important, especially in regards to studying our civil rights leaders, etc. I mean, all of that is a part of, who I am today, and I'm growing as time goes by. So I definitely feel like every year I should become better than the year before. So like with me being 21, this year I did a lot this year. So the next year I turned 22. So hopefully I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to beat this 21 year, because I keep doing stuff. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I need to hurry up and turn 22. Yeah. So when I turn 22, I got to beat 21, but that's what I feel, I shouldn't be the same place I was last year. That makes no sense. Yeah. I'm just like, I done turned 21 and now I'm 22 and I'm in the same position I was in last year. That ain't how that works. So definitely I'll say reading. Reading is a big portion of, why I believe what I believe, why I speak the way I do, etc. Reading. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put all this heavy pressure on you, man, but you got this Fred Hampton vibe you giving me.
Everybody be saying that it's either Fred, Booker T. Washington. But I study all of them, so I just want to make sure I try to emulate a lot of them, but also study the mistakes that they made and try not to make those same mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I believe our civil rights leaders made at the time was not training and replacements. And that's what I believe in doing today. So I'll teach all the radical stuff to the children. And then by the time they do figure out I'm being radical and kill me, you got 1,000 other children you got to go drop a bomb on. Go do it. So that's how that's gonna have to work.
We're gonna protect you, brother. So don't even put that in the atmosphere. Don't even put that.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Have you got the kids? You have the kids reading Powernomics?
No, we haven't started reading it yet, but they'll be reading it in the book club. We have a book club. It's starting back tomorrow. I had to close the book club because of the virus. But yeah, I know all about Powernomics and Dr. Claude Anderson. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Because I figured that was coming. And actually, the question that I got to ask you, being at everything that went on, has Dr. Boyce Watkins contacted you?
Dr. Boyce is the reason. Dr. Boyce was the reason that I went viral.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I first saw the clip.
That's where I saw it.
Dr. Boyce was the reason I went viral. He saw a video I did with One American News Network. He shared it on his page and asked people, could they find me? Then he found the Roland Martin interview. And because Malcolm X's daughter actually shared the video of me on a One American News Network. So he found the video of me and Roland, and it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and he did a viral YouTube video, YouTube podcast, and it went everywhere. And people went to look for me, and they saw this clip, and I'm talking about it just went everywhere. Dr. Boyce called me the next day, and he had me on the show the day after that. And I was able to, actually talk about what I've been doing and stuff. But yeah, Dr. Boyce is the reason that went viral, because that was like 2 weeks later. And Dr. Boyce got on there. I mean, he just went off. Like he's like, I don't even like talking about rolling. He's like, but this ain't gonna work. You know, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I heard about it the next day. Somebody was like, hey, Dr. Boyce Watkins. I said, Dr. Boyce Watkins trying to reach out to me. Okay, cool. So I got on YouTube. It was like 3 a.m. and he gave this whole spill. Oh my goodness, it was great, you know. But people had like 60,000 views like in that one night, and people had been looking on social media, and like I had got so many followers like in 2 days. Like that weekend on Instagram, I had like 6,000 followers, and then like that whole week, like I was almost up to like 70K almost now. It was crazy, like in just that little weekend, and I was like so many celebrities were sharing it and everything. It was crazy, like it was wild. It was wild.
Yeah.
I say that because to me, the work that you're doing, you're going to have the right people that's going to reach out to you because you're putting in the work. Mm-hmm. Like for me, that's why I said, you know, for us, when we talked about it, we wanted you on the show because we felt as though the disrespect that you got from him, we're not going to allow that here because we want to give you your flowers. We definitely want to give you your flowers.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Because everything that you're doing, you're showing people that it can be done. That's the big thing. And you showing it like, I ain't got all the resources. As it goes along, I'm a figure it out. And when you said about the kids earlier, when the kids are looking at you, that's something to look up to. Like, I know I can do it because I'm watching him do it, and I know him. It ain't like LeBron, who's 6'8", 260, and that's a little different. You can't go do that shit, and you 5'3". Right.
What's funny is all of my boys are bigger than me. I'm only 5'7". All of my boys are bigger than me. All of my oldest 14 and 17-year-olds, every last one of them are bigger than me. My little brother is 6'1". My biggest boy, he like 6'5". All of them are way bigger than me. And people are like, how are you able to discipline them, etc.? And it's a respect thing. It's a respect thing. Plus they already know I'm a bulldog. They already not even try me like that. But yeah, all of them, but they're overprotective of me too. Like they don't like no nonsense going on. Like they watch people on social media saying stuff, etc. And they be like, Mr. King, who it is? Because I be telling people all the time, I'm like, listen, I'm like, these kids former gang members, etc. They still don't play the radio. They got reformed a little bit, but they still they remember a lot, you know. Yeah. So you know, I'm just like, they be like, don't bother Mr. King, man. They'll tell you real quick, don't be bothering Mr. King, you know. But it's just beautiful, man. Just all of it. Of course, they get to see the possible. And that's the biggest thing. And that's why they're able to change their lives and stuff like that. So I definitely love it. I definitely love it.
Well, I'm getting ready to bring somebody on who dear to me. This is my man. We grew up together, and he's also an educator. And I know y'all gonna vibe. So this my man, Kaid, but you know you can call him KZ. I'll let him introduce himself. What's up, homeboy?
KZ.
What's going on, man? I hope I don't got a bad connection.
Now you good?
Y'all hear me? I'm good?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, first of all, peace, brother. I definitely appreciate what I've heard so far and what you got going on. I listened to the whole part about the Roland Martin and everybody else. I can see how feathers are ruffled a little bit, but I mean, I think it's one of them things where you got to just choose the position to either pass judgment or just, you know, sit by and watch and just see what the brother's doing. And, you know, like I've been in this work for 22 years now. Dealing with gang members, and like my shirt even say "Be the change." Like I'm all about that, right? So I applaud you for what you're doing, and I don't know if anybody's ever had a conversation with you about, I guess, perspective. And like I know because you said something when I was listening. You was like, when Fu was like, "Well, we got to get the dude on so he could, you know, you could bury the issue." And you was like, "I really don't want to bury the issue. I care less." Like I appreciate your perspective on that, and I don't think that that's something that you necessarily need to do. But I am curious, if you had to like step outside yourself, how do you and see it from other people's eyes? What would your impression of their perspective about what you say you're doing when it comes to making men and so forth? Like, what do you think they see when they hear you saying that this is what you're going to do or this is what you're doing? at the young age that you're doing it, and so on and so forth? Like, do you ever like? And sometimes we don't do that, but do you ever like look for understanding from, you know, some other people who claim to be doing what it is that you're doing?
So I have a circle of elders that I consult because I do not believe I'm an adult yet. I don't believe you're an adult till you turn 25. That's what science
Thank you.
tells you.
That right there. Thank you. Go ahead, but go ahead.
Yeah, the decision making part of your brain is not developed till you turn 25. That's your frontal lobe. So this is why I have a council of elders, you know, that I constantly seek, you know, guidance from at all times. But sometimes when I hear my story from somebody else, or like my first ever promotional video that was done for the X for Boys, when I watched it, it does seem unbelievable. It does. And that's why I don't really get so upset sometimes when people are, you know, skeptical, because it does seem unbelievable. Like, I'm really doing the impossible. Like, there's no way this 21-year-old kid is out here finna open no school, got these kids staying in his house that's teaching them all this stuff. Ain't no possible way. And I get it, because it does seem impossible, because there's no young black man that's 21 years old out here doing that. So it does sound unbelievable sometimes. And so when I listen to, you know, other people, when they do get skeptical, you know, I understand, you know, but they have to see the pictures and see that I have been, you know, doing it, etc. But I do try to make sure I listen to other people's perspective, because that's how you're going to grow. I like to read books that I disagree with, because that's how you're going to grow. You know, I just want to make sure that I'm not, you know, staying, you know, in what I believe and what I think all the time, because I never know what I don't know. Which is why I try to listen to people of different religions, and listen to people of different perspectives, and listen to people of different parties or whatever, or go to different conventions of people who think differently, etc. Because this is how you grow, and this is how you develop more, and this is how you understand more. So I just believe in what the scripture says: with all thy getting, get understanding. And I believe that's extremely important, because we get so much, but we don't seek to understand. And I seek to understand as much as I can.
I'm glad you answered it the way you did, right? Because I'm making, and I don't say making the effort, I'm making a decision to really accept everything about you based upon what I read online, and I've heard about you, and I've seen some clips and stuff. And at your age, I'm just going, wow, like, I like this brother got fired. When I was your age, I was doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I graduated college at 21. I was teaching at 21. By the time I was 23, I was a professor in college running a upward bound program, and we were ranked like number 3 in the nation. And we were doing things like teaching kids to fly planes. These were all ideas baked in my head. And you know, when you're young at that age, you got that fire and that passion. I remember going to Capitol Hill lobbying for more money for a program that they were just level funding us. I remember writing grants at 22 years old for $10 million from the Ford Foundation and Freddie Mae and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac at 22, 21, 20. Like, so it's not impossible. And I really like the fact that you have that in your story. But I'm telling you, there's so many other brothers like you at your age that are doing it, that may not get the media press. Like, when I was doing it, Facebook wasn't invented. Right? We talking 1999, 98, 99. There was no social media, right? But I can tell you that in 2000, and I'm not tooting my horn. This ain't about me. This is your time, so I don't want to make it seem like that. But just to give you some idea, like in 2005, I worked at a school where we had over 100 registered gang members. 2003, I started working there. By 2005, we had over 100 registered. When I say registered, I mean they on the books in their own hoods, like official. And we implemented a program there. I spearheaded, part of it, and we haven't had a gang fight in that building since 2007. Like, these things are doable, and I remember the elders at the time. I don't call them elders; they were just old goats, right? But they were like very critical of young brothers and their passion, because they couldn't understand it, or you didn't go to them on bending knee, kissing the ring, asking them for help. You just was like, yo, something needs to be done. I'm gonna do it. And I think what rubs some of them the wrong way is that you're saying, I'm gonna make them into men. And people are going, you got ways to go before you can answer all these young boys' questions about being a man. But I think that I appreciate the fact that you're not stifling any movement. You're just moving. right? And I'm telling you, just move, brother. Just move.
Right.
Keep grinding. Keep pushing. Keep moving, because it's needed, right? And Dr. Well, not Dr. but my brother Baruch Fele, he's a dynamic educator. He has a book, and the book is about being a principal. But in the book, he said something that struck my spirit, and I always give this to people. Number one, say who you are.
Yes, they don't want. See, that's the powers that be, or is that my connection?
What happened? That's you, because I think I'm good. Am I right? Y'all can hear me?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. All right. So Barika Fele said something very powerful. Always spoke to me, and I always try and give it to young brothers like you that are in the trenches, right? Because you gonna learn whether you get it right the first time or not. The loss is gonna be lessons, and as long as you stick with it, right, it's going to develop, right? You're doing what we would call passive, massive power. You ain't just reading books and studying. You out there doing it.
Right.
And what Rudy Kafele would say is, he would say, well, say who you are, right? Number one, who do you say you are? Number two, what have you done? And number three, where's your evidence? And people will always say who they are and what they've done. But when you say, okay, well, where's your evidence? A lot of people come up short on evidence because they just pontificate about what the Black community needs and what society needs and this, that, and the third. But they're out there doing what's called passive power. They're researching. They're reading books. They're talking to people. They're sitting at the table, and they're trying to gather all of the facts so that they can figure out a way to do it. When in fact, if I give you a hammer, a nail, and a board, and I say build a house, the first thing you're going to say is, I need more wood. And then when you get more wood, I need more nails. And then when you get more nails, I need more people. I need measuring sticks. You're going to learn what you need when you run out. You're going to learn what you need when you realize you don't have it. It might take you 4 years to get a college degree just so somebody can say you're ready to start a job. But if you take those 4 years and you use massive power like what you're doing, it kind of said you're going to figure it out, and you might learn what they will teach you in 4 years. You might get to that point in a year and a half just off necessity. You see what I'm saying? But I would offer, you in Albany. If you was in Jersey, my brother, I would be like, listen, whatever you need from me, I help you. I mean, I don't got no problem helping you however I can, because I deal with young men, I deal with young boys. I got my own agency that I created, and we doing the same stuff. And I'm just telling you that, like I told Fu, I always tell people, root yourself in some type of doctrine, some type of lesson, some type of teachings that have been battle tested. Some people use Elijah Muhammad's, his teachings. You know what I'm saying? Some people use other people. I say make your own, but in the process of making your own, anchor it in something that's battle tested, because the wisdom that's come before us becomes so beneficial in the fight that you fighting. It becomes so beneficial because you ain't got time to learn too many lessons on your own, because you're doing the Lord's work. And sometimes you want to be able to grab, them doctrines and them teachings and say, listen, this was done. Let's modify it, so on and so forth, to make it work. But I mean, I wasn't gonna come on y'all because I'm still, I'm in this dissertation phase and I'm working hard. But I want to say I applaud you. My eyebrow raised. When I read it. I'm like, this brother's 21 years old, 20 years old, and he's making
I
them in
know,
the ring.
right?
I was like, wait a minute. He a baby. You know what I'm saying? He a baby with facial hair, but he a baby. Like, but then I said, wait a minute. I remember when I was 21 and I had that fire burning in me, and I wanted to just go. Right? I wanted to just go. The same thing you said, cutting your hair. I was cutting the block's hair, making money. You know what I'm saying? Helping people fix their cars, doing work around houses, babysitting. You name it, bro. I'm talking like gathering baby food or making fresh baby food from like pureed vegetables and then freezing them, bagging them, dating them, and then telling mothers, listen, I got supplements for you. You don't need to buy that Gerber stuff. I got fresh peas, fresh carrots right here. And people were looking at me like, yo, this dude, the know-it-alls, the older people, like who he think he is. He ain't climb up the ranks. He ain't wrote a book. he ain't graduated college. You know, he ain't got his own kids. But the truth of the matter is, some of the greats that we followed, you know what I'm saying? Fred Hampton was 19.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Exactly.
19.
Yep.
He was rooted in some type of doctrine, but he was 19. You know what I'm saying? Mega Evans was in his
Right.
20s.
Yeah.
So I want to say, brother, I applaud you. I applaud you, and no negative criticism. I applaud you, and I just want to see where it goes, man. Just stay rooted, stay grounded, keep pushing. And them young brothers that's 4 years younger than you or 3 years younger than you, that they in adulthood, but they still ain't got it up here. Yo, 3-4 years from now, that's gonna be the first line of defense.
Yep.
And as you grow, they grow. Just stay 3 steps ahead of them. You can always offer them wisdom.
Absolutely.
Yo, King.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have main one send you his contact information so you can reach out.
Okay.
That way.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yo, Kai. It's cool. It's
What's
cool
up?
if I give you a number.
Yeah, listen, bro. He doing the Lord's work. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I can help him. I will help him if I can help him. If he need a soundboard, like if he need, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If he do like let's say he do if you ever need me to like speak to your young men or whatever, and we could do like a Zoom type thing, you get him in a room. I do that stuff all the time, man. And it's just a perspective, right? It's just a perspective. I'm 45 years old. I'll be 45 this year. But I've seen
and King
a lot.
Yes, sir.
Yo, I want you to look at the camera. Look at the camera real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go do me a favor. Take that number one phone call you got to take. Go take it real quick.
Okay.
All right, take that number one phone call. Just turn the camera off, and when you come back, we're gonna wrap it up. Go take that number one phone call.
Okay, bet. All right.
All right.
KZ, quick question for you.
Go ahead.
Somebody in the chat asked a question, and I hope I responded correctly. You're from New Jersey or New York?
He's from Newark. We grew up together. Let me bring up that New York, New Jersey thing. We don't claim New York over here.
I need you to relax.
That's main one over there.
I'm gonna need you to relax. Relax on that.
I'm from Newark.
I'm trying to be corrected. Just in case, but I said New Jersey. I just want to make sure that it's New Jersey.
Yeah. I'm from Jersey. I'm from Jersey, man.
And by the way, just so you know, April 26th.
Mm-hmm.
You know that date?
I mean, a million things have happened on April 26th, but what's April 26th?
Doesn't sound familiar. It's National Dissertation Day.
Oh, I didn't even. I'm in the proposal phase.
See what I'm saying?
How you know all these random dates and shit?
This is what I do. Okay, this is what I do.
Argue with it. That's what she do.
It's a National Observance Day. What? And you mentioned that you started working on yours, right? You said you're
in the proposal. I'm in the proposal phase now, so I'm trying to. I got a hot topic. I hope they don't like kill me for it, but I'm really going at him with this one because I think it's needed. Like what the young brother is doing, I think it's so dope that he's doing it. I just know. I can only imagine the vitriol or the hate that he's getting,
of course,
from some of the elders because they're in the same lane, but they're not doing anything. They just motor mouthing.
Yeah.
Right. They just motor mouthing. Like I mean, I got tons of questions for dude, like tons of them, because I'm like that you making bold claims. Those are bold claims that you turning young boys into men.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to come back to so what you know about being a man? What's your story? How seasoned is it? Where's your evidence? So on and so forth. But what I noticed, like I said, my eyebrow went up. I was like, what?
Well, yeah, for a lot of people, his age is going to do that. But let me tell you, this young man is the intellect alone. Alone, he has to say the action that he's taking. He's not sitting on the sidelines. He's actually playing, and he's playing in the game.
Yeah. What people understand is he's building an army, not in a war sense, but like I did with myself. I was young. I've had 3 generations. I taught a girl who was pregnant when I was teaching.
Can y'all hear Kay talking, or is it just my stuff that's freezing up?
I can hear you.
This is some BS, yo. My stuff, I'm buffering over here while y'all get the conversation.
That's that Jersey shit.
Oh man, I don't know. Shadika said, "Oh no, okay, Newark in the house. What's up, Shadika?" I'm sorry. Go ahead, Casey.
I taught a girl. When I taught her, I was 21. She was 17 or 18 and pregnant. She had the baby while during the school year, right? Mm-hmm. Her daughter ended up being. She had a daughter. Her daughter ended up being 14 years old and in my class.
Wow.
And was pregnant.
Wow.
And had the kid. So now my first student is a grandmother, younger than me, and is a grandmother. My second student is a mother. And in another maybe 10 years, I might even coach the baby. I don't know if I'm still coaching or whatever. So when you put that type of time in, right, you find yourself building an army where I got kids who like a lot of people. And what this young dude is doing is, you could knock him however you want to knock him, but what he's doing is he's building a base.
Right.
He's building a base, and that base is going to support him so much more than some of the other people who trying to open schools. We ain't saying no names, and some of the other people who putting out documentaries regurgitating history that they ain't even a part of. Right? Mm-hmm. It's easy to sit in front of a camera and regurgitate what you read in a book, not what you discovered, but what you uncovered. Mm-hmm. Right? It's different, right? Discovery and uncovery is two different things. So these jokers become, PhDs of poverty, hunger, and depression because they uncovered something that wasn't really hidden. They just found it and they can speak well. Those people, I'm not knocking them, but it's totally different than discovery. And what this young brother is doing is he's discovering manhood. Mm-hmm. He's discovering it alongside these young boys. That's dope. That's dope. He's understanding how to make things work, how to make ends meet, how to not make excuses, and he's building a base. So people gonna knock him. I see why they knock him. I get it. Trust me, if it was a 21-year-old black woman educating young black girls on how to be a woman, older black woman be like, what she know? She ain't got no kids. She ain't married. She don't pay no bills. She ain't got no mortgage. You know what I'm saying? She ain't on child support. Like, what she know?
Oh yeah. We become very judgmental in that regard. But like you said, what makes him different and sets him aside, even from people in our own age range, is the fact that he's out here doing all that action. He's not sitting on the sideline watching it.
And he answered it the way, because food know me. Like, I don't care what your resume say. I don't care how many books you wrote. I don't care how many likes you got on social media. I tag fool in the post. I say, yo, is this your king? Remember that dude? We ain't gonna say his name.
Yeah, I got you.
Cooning and buffooning over some Hotep jewelry. And I'm like, this your dude? Right? Like nonsense. So I don't care about all of that. When I asked the brother the question,
welcome back, King. I hope your phone conversation is ended. We good.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful conversation.
Right, man. Yeah. But I instead of saying it about you, brother, I'm gonna say it to you since you back tuned in. I was giving you your flowers, but you was on the phone call. That was very important. I just want to say, man, I love what you're doing. And I see how you're building a base, and that base is going to be so influential and so instrumental in how you move forward, right? It's going to be so instrumental in how you move forward that you're going to find yourself in situations, and you're going to be able to, because the way things grow exponentially, right? Your reputation is going to grow exponentially. It's not going to be generation by generation. It's going to be within this one generation. You're teaching people as you're learning. Mm-hmm. And as a teacher, as an educator, That's the best way to educate people. When you teach them as you learn. And if you can teach it, it proves that you learned it. Not that you was informed. Not that somebody gave you instructions, but you actually can teach it because you learned it. And you're doing it at a pace where you're learning it and you're giving it. You're learning it and you're giving it. I think that, time gonna prove that what you're doing is dope. And the naysayers, they're gonna invite you back on that show with half-ass apologies because now they're gonna want you to solidify whatever it is that they're doing. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you said you got a compliment of elders that you fool. You see how he gave credit to his elders?
Yep.
See, I keep telling you the way brother you answered the question. You got my support because you didn't ego trip with it. You didn't hit me with how you know what I know and be a man. How you telling me what a man? You really gave it up to your elders. Like, listen, I got people who are telling me I'm still young and I'm developing, but just because I'm developing don't mean I gotta wait to be great.
Right.
That's dope,
Right.
man. That's dope, man. I wish you nothing but blessings, nothing but God's blessings, man. And he gonna give you my number if you need me. If there's something I could do, a connection I could make. Hell, if you get on a plane and you come to Jersey and you want to present to some of the kids in my school once this COVID thing is over, by all means, brother, by all means.
Absolutely. Just give me a shout. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Did you go to college?
Yes, sir. I graduated from college before I graduated high school. I had an associate's degree in culinary.
What school did you go to? If you mind me
Albany
asking.
Technical College and Westover High School.
Okay. Now, are you planning on continuing your education?
When I get time. Right now, I really don't have time. I'm consumed in this 24 hours, 7 days a week. I have children living with me, etc. So, yeah, just give me a moment.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm gonna leave you with this, and hopefully it inspires you, because I don't want you to feel like sometimes geniuses sometimes feel alone or whatever because you feel like some people don't get you right. I know that feeling. I was 20. I think I was 20, 96. So I might have been 24, and I was upset that the school system was not providing the right services to the kids, and I felt that I could do a better job at it, not because of ego, but just because of passion. So I was homeless. Peep it. I was homeless. I don't even know if I don't even know if I ever told Foodie's story, but I was homeless for a year with a master's degree, a job, and a car. But I was homeless. I lost my apartment. We're not gonna get into that. And I refused to go spend the last little bit of savings I had to buy for down payment and first and last security and all that nonsense. So I would go to work and I would just devise a plan of how I was going to impact the community, but put myself in a better position. And I never wanted to just buy a house for me. So what I did was I went to go buy a house and the doors got slammed in my face. Right? They slammed them in my face because I didn't have the credit, I didn't have enough down payment, all the blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know enough about buying property. So I literally walked into a Weicker Realty office and I said, I want to be a real estate agent. I said, how much does it cost to go to school? And he said, well, if you go to our real estate school, you can go for free. And if you go for free, you just work for us after you get your license. You guys can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So me being a hustler that I am, I shook his hand and said, cool. I learned everything about buying and selling property. And right up to the time to take the test, I just walked away. I stole the knowledge and walked away. And then I spent the next 6 months sitting on a paint can in Home Depot, reading home improvement books on my break. And I was just looking at tools and learning tools and how they work. I would buy a tool, take it home, practice it, like take it wherever I was at, my stepmother's house, whatever, practice, bring it back, right? And the whole time I'm stacking my bread, I ended up buying me a house. But you know why I bought the house is the reason for the story. I didn't buy the house because I needed a place to live. I bought the house because I wanted to create a distant learning school. And I said, if I lived here and it's a 2-family house, I could turn the second floor into a distance learning center. This was 2002, before Zoom, before any of that. And I was going to pay. Wow, I was going to pay teachers to come to my place after school, and then the kids could log on in their schools, and we would have the video cameras there. And I was going to provide cameras for all the schools in my area, and then the kids could be in the room with a camera, and then I would receive the image in my house.
Wow.
In my house on the second floor. And let me tell you something, brother. I'm going to tell you something. Everywhere I went to get funding and everywhere I went to get help, they all told me I was crazy. I didn't have a leadership degree in education. I wasn't a principal. I didn't have no computer science degree. I had a degree in math and I had a master's in psychology. But I didn't fit the bill, and the schools and the board of eds wasn't trying to play ball with me because they felt like I was leapfrogging the line, the same way they talk about you. And I'm telling you something, man, you just gotta stay the course.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You stay the course. I never opened the school thing, and because I was ahead of time when it comes to buffering and bandwidth and all that. So it ended up being a technological almost impossibility, but the idea was there. I just reverted, turned it into a music studio, and started teaching kids in the hood how to produce music.
Mm-hmm.
But the gatekeepers, yo, they don't stress them, bro. You weird right now. I'm gonna tell you, you weird. Understand that you weird because they don't get it yet. And the moment they get it, you go from being weird to being a genius.
Mm-hmm.
So, from one weirdo to another, I love it. Yo, I love it, bro. I love it, man. Be weird, yo. Look, don't worry if they don't get it. It's going to catch up. They thought Elijah Muhammad was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They thought he was crazy with 4th grade education. They thought he was crazy.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man. Flowers, brother. Blessings. Definitely.
I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Shit inspired me just inspired me just watching the videos and then jumping because I wasn't gonna jump on.
All right, Kai. Appreciate it, my man. We're gonna get him your number.
Yes, sir. See y'all.
All right, home. All right.
Peace out.
All right, Casey.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Now, King, like we played Little League baseball together. Grew up around from that's my man. That's my man's right there. And I don't know about y'all, but I think it'd be cool if we end on that note, in the show on that note. And King, go ahead and give everybody your social media, what they can do. The website is at the bottom, but just give everybody everything, and then we go ahead and wrap this up.
Absolutely. Well, the website is theexpertboys.org. All of my social media is New Emerging King. That's at New Emerging King on everything. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, any little thing you want to find me on is going to be at New Emerging King. And always in every show I go on with a quote from one of our hometown hero rappers. His name is Cantrell. He says, obstacles are optical illusions. They're not really there. Jump high anyway. Jump high just in case.
All right.
Nice.
Well, that's the way we definitely gonna end it. We appreciate you coming on. We most definitely gonna be in touch. When he sends you the email, make sure you send us your number so we can connect and everything.
Yeah, I see it right here. Yeah, I already sent it.
Yeah. And for everybody that's watching, I'm serious. Whatever you can do, contribute to help. If you know somebody that can contribute to help, get them to this young king. It's ironic that I call people king and that's your damn name. So, that it works out perfectly. But we
Yes, sir.
Do what we can to push him where he needs to go and to help him get there. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. There is no us without any of you. And we will see y'all next week.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good night. Thank you, King Randall.
No problem. Peace out.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.